Guys, back to the final video on the 12.5-inch Ballistic Advantage 6-arc barrel that they came out with. What do I think? Is it still good? Did it get more accurate? Let's find out. So before we start, guys, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. It really does help the channel, and it helps the channel get more views, so we're trying to build this up. That would be awesome. Now, getting into the barrel itself, this is a 12.5-inch fluted barrel from Ballistic Advantage. They just came out with it recently in the last few months. They did a short limited run, and then I think they released another batch. I was really curious about this because it was similar to the Noveske DDF barrels, but at like 1/4 of the price. And I thought if it's even half as good as the Noveske barrels, it's probably a decent deal for the price. The Noveske barrels are really good and very accurate. And I was hoping, if I could get decent accuracy out of this, okay, cool. It's the Noveske we have at home. So got the barrel, installed it, built this upper, SBR'd this lower to make this the ultimate like do-all kind of setup. And we did long-range testing with it with this scope on it out to 1,300 yards. We were able to get impacts. It was pretty cool. It was impressive to see the capabilities of such a small, short, lightweight package that, in an AR-15 package was not seen before the 6-arc was released. But now that we have that and we have the capabilities of that, it's interesting to see how far we can push in a package like this. What is the use case for this kind of setup? It would have, for me, a 1-8 on top, so we can still get out far, because this is an 800-in gun all day long. Honestly, 1,000 yards is not very difficult for this setup at all. We have the same capabilities as an 18-inch 5.56, except we have more energy on target. So, and this actually outperforms an 18-inch 5.56 upper. So think about like a 5.56 SPR type rifle, except this is a little bit better, and in terms of energy on impact and as well as wind deflection. So it beats that. And you're half a foot shorter. So now you're suppressed and you're coming in probably at the same length as an unsuppressed 18-inch 5.56, but with better ballistics. To me, that's really interesting. But accuracy, was this barrel accurate? Is it worth it? So I got this barrel, I think it was on sale, or when it first came out, I want to say it was $175. I got it for $175. It was under $200, I'm pretty sure. And I'll double check that. If I'm wrong, I'll put that in the video. But I said, for that price, all right, let's try it out. Got it, installed it, built this upper. This build was from scratch, and we put it together, mostly BCM, and I really liked it. I really liked it, how it handled and how it felt. So initial accuracy was kind of a mixed bag, and we had some tight groups with a flyer, some of it wasn't as consistent, and I think that was due partly because of the stock we were using, as well as the fact that I had a law folder on that there was a lot of movement in the gun from the receiver back here that I did not like. And I'm used to precision bolt guns, and this is the opposite of that, right? It's a gas gun, it's smaller, it's lighter, which means the recoil management and everything about that is a little bit different, okay? Because it's lighter, the gun moves a little bit more, as opposed to, a 10-pound gun. This thing, I think, was it was light. Even with the suppressor on it, it's a light gun. So any small movement into this gun, it affects it. You have movement. So you really have to work to stabilize a smaller, shorter gun like this. This wasn't designed to be a long-range precision gun, but everyone wants an accurate rifle. So I was like, all right, cool. It was around 1 MOA averaging, and I'm like, listen, that'll work. That'll work on the use case for this rifle, which is I want to hit a, say, human-sized target out to distance, out to 800 yards. That is kind of what I saw this rifle set up for. And out to that distance, I mean, we're talking, if we have an IPSC target that's 20 inches wide, a 1 MOA gun will hit that way past even up 1,000 yards. So it's doable and acceptable accuracy. And I went out, shot, was very surprised and pleasantly surprised with the results. We were getting impacts out to 1,300 yards. Repeatable impacts out to 1,300. So it was doing its job, and I said, that's pretty good. So after 300 rounds through this setup, the barrel has been broken in. I wanted to reshoot, do another accuracy test and see, has accuracy improved? Where is it right now? What should you expect out of this type of barrel? So these are the groups that we're working with. I bought 1 box of Hornady 140 ELDMs, and I wasn't gonna buy more because I'm not gonna sit there and just shoot and just waste money all day long. I'll get a couple groups and we'll go with that. So Shot a couple groups. I would pick a corner of one of these pasties and shoot. And this was the first group that I shot. And we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 0.9 inches, and then we had one out here, bringing the total group to 1.6. But we did have a nice 1-inch group right here. And I saw that again over here. Again, from this 4 shots here, I had 0.7, and then we had this guy over here. And that here, we were kind of just stringing right to left, which I think that could have been partly me. So the gun is so light, you're trying to stabilize it, and there could have been some side-to-side movement. I was trying my best here. And then I shot another round just to make sure. I wanted to get another tight shot group right there, but I couldn't. And then, so that was number 6 right there. So let's forget about this little guy. That little guy, don't worry about that little guy. So 5-shot group here, 1.35 inches, but with a 4 here, you're looking at 0.7 inches. Not bad, not bad. Then I came up here. This shot was like shot number 3, and then they were all right here. So I didn't think I pulled that one either. I don't know. I'm able to shoot a tight group here. This one did not feel any different. So it went from a 0.87 4-shot group here, so sub MOA 4-shot group, to 1.7. And I know that a 5-shot group, and people are going to comment, actually, you should shoot 100 shots, and that is the actual accuracy of the barrel. I'm not going to shoot 100 rounds. No one's doing that. I'm not sponsored. If you want to send me $1,000 to do that, sure, I'll do that. I'm not doing that. So you can eat my butt. And coming back to here, this was the first shot that I shot after I bore sighted. So I was aiming here, bore sighted, shot there. Not a bad little bore sight. That's less than, that's probably about 5 inches from my point of aim. Regardless, I aimed it here and got a 0.93 shot group. So yeah, there is something to be said about shooting a larger group, right? I could have shot a bunch of sub MOA 3-shot groups. Realistically, I could have shot this one. That would have been a half-inch 3-shot group, and people would be like, "Oh wow, it's a half-inch gun." It's not a half-inch gun. It's not a half-inch gun. So, I could have came up here, shot these 3, and be like, "Whoa, it's a half-inch gun." It's not. It's not. And I understand that, but realistically, I'm not going to shoot more than 5 shots. We're getting a decent average of about 1.6 to 135. To 1.7, so we could say average 1.5-inch groups there, which is not terrible. And actually, shooting out to 800 yards, you're still hitting that human-sized target. So in conclusion, what do I think about the accuracy of this barrel? Is it worth it? Let's think about this, right? A 12-inch barrel on this gun, you're not going to be using it for extreme long ranges. Now, was it accurate enough for me to get shots on target out to past 1,000? Yes, it was. So, and repeated shots in challenging wind, which means it is consistent. And again, maybe I pull those rounds. Maybe it is a sub MOA gun. I'm not sure. If you guys have gotten better results or different results from this barrel, please comment below. Let me know. I think for what it is, and for the price, I think it's a great value. I do. I think it's pretty good. If it's shooting slightly over 1 inch for 5 shots, that's not terrible. That's not terrible. And if it was a DDF barrel and you're spending close to $700 for a barrel with the bolt, and you're getting that kind of results, yeah, I'd be a little bit pissed. I would say probably not worth it. But if you're spending $200 or less for that kind of barrel, I think, in my opinion, I think it's worth it. I do. I think it's worth it since there's not many other options out there. I know there's other 12.5-inch barrels, but not in this price range. There's a few out there that I know, but they're more expensive. And are they more accurate? Maybe. But are you using a 12.5-inch gun for headshots at 700 yards? I don't know. Probably not. This setup, to me, right, because it's shorter, you could use it for closer range engagements, as well as if you need to, okay, I can lay down fire out to 800-900 yards. In fact, so 2 in a row. at 800. Just using a bag, no bipod. Okay. But primarily, I'm shooting 400 and in which case this is way more capable than you actually need to get hits on, say, an IPSC size target at that distance. And just for doing some math, say it's a 1.5 inch gun. At 800 yards, that cone of fire, right, the area in which those rounds will impact will be a 12-inch circle. So from here to here, that's 12 inches, okay? So on an IPSC target, the C zone, right, that's 12 inches wide. So you would be able to get impacts here, out to 800. That's acceptable to me. You know, if you're gonna be using that rifle for, say you're doing competitions or anything like that, and you wanna be trying to hit a target like this, a C zone, chest, that's not bad. That's not bad, out to 800? You kidding me? Come on. So overall, I think this barrel is a good value for what it is. If it was $400, I'd say no. And it's giving more accessibility to a larger pool of shooters. If it was a Noveske barrel shooting like that, I'd say that's not worth it at all. For the price that it is, I do think it is worth it. I've had a lot of fun with this gun. I've shot out to pretty insane distances. Just shooting off the back of a pickup truck, no bipod. There's that video where I'm shooting out to 800, 600, just bracing up against the car and getting impacts on targets, which is cool. Out of this kind of, again, the size and the weight of this package, it's very impressive. With this barrel, it keeps it lightweight. I really like that. So would I have bought this barrel again? Honestly, yeah, I would. Now, if I was to get a different barrel length, say a 14 or even a 16 inch, I need a little bit more accuracy. I'd want groups consistently under, 5-shot groups under 1 inch, because at that point I can shoot much further and I need a smaller group size so I can still get impacts at those distances. So that kind of accuracy to me with a longer barrel wouldn't be acceptable. Does that make sense? There's a lot of things that come into play when selecting a barrel, and for me, for this size and for the practicality of shooting it, I think it's fantastic. That's my review. I would recommend buying this. I do like it a lot. It's not a proof barrel. I do recommend it though. That being said, guys, get out there, train. As you see, Western civilization is crumbling all around us. And if you are not prepared, if you are not strong, if you're not in shape, if you don't know how to shoot, it's gonna be kind of tough out there for you. So get after it.